friends invited, has been serving and still is a powerful tool to join our efforts and to draft a common agenda of actions in the same goals and priorities we have, like fighting terrorism and preventing and fighting illegal migration, organized crime, and so on and so forth. We have had a very fruitful discussion in the first session, addressing topics which mostly concern our citizens, and by our citizens I mean the citizens of our countries in the EU and the Western Balkans, issues that concern at the same time our governments and which should be addressed jointly. This means issues which are not just for the Balkans, but our joint problems which we should deal together. The Albania and the countries in the Western Balkans have been working for the repatriation agreements, which are quite fruitful in bringing back all the illegal asylum seekers in the EU countries. This means we are working together with our partners in the EU to welcome back all our citizens who, for mainly economical reasons, come in the EU countries to seek in an illegal manner asylum. We are working commonly in the Balkan region to have the same procedures and protocols on the border scanning, as it serves as a very powerful instrument to prevent illegal asylum seekers. And this is why we talked in the first session of the Salzburg Forum to have expertise and the very helpful capacity building from our partners in order to foster our prevention instruments in the border, preventing illegal asylum seekers in the origin. And we are also dealing with awareness campaigns and education tools to make it clear for our citizens that it is absolutely impossible to have asylum in EU countries for economical reasons. By saying this, we really believe we should be together in this joint effort of ours, sharing the same responsibilities. And this means for EU countries to develop as soon as possible on a national level or at the EU level a list of countries of safe origin. Whether that is possible on the national level or at the European level, it helps us better address the problem of illegal asylum seekers. A second issue to be addressed is the procedures for starting with the interviewing process till the final decision on whether to give the status of asylum to a citizen coming from the Western Balkans. We need these procedures to be as short as possible. This is the only way these procedures won't serve as an inviting procedure for our citizens, because it's inviting for citizens in Albania or in other countries of the Western Balkans to come and stay here in Austria, in Germany, in France, in other EU countries for 6 months or longer waiting for a decision, and that is more inviting than staying here for 2 or 3 weeks waiting for a decision. So we need action and decision from our strategic partners in the EU and the EU countries to shorten the procedures and to make it absolutely impossible for our citizens to find it inviting coming here and waiting here the decision on whether to get asylum or not. A solution should be made on financial aid for those who come and seek asylum here in the EU countries, or for the work permission for those who come and seek asylum, because these serve as an inviting factor, a pull factor, which makes it quite attracting for the citizens in Albania or in other countries in the Balkan region to come for 6 months or so, stay here or in other EU countries and give what it sounds like preliminary solutions to any kind of problems we have in our countries. So this is why we should work together, and we have talked in the first session to work together on the bilateral grounds, but also the EU countries should push it ahead on helping each other address this problem. As far as illegal migration and illegal asylum seekers are not a problem of our partners in the EU countries. First and foremost, these are problems of our countries, as we do not want labor force and brain drain, harm and jeopardize economical development of our countries. We have talked about our common agenda on fighting organized crime and terrorism, which for sure is a huge priority of ours, of my country, Albania, of the Balkan region, of the EU, and a global priority. Since now we have been quite successful in exchanging information through INTERPOL, Europol, but we should enhance our capacity to better cooperate together in fighting extremism and violent extremism. Criminals have proved several times that they can cooperate quite more faster than countries do. They do not have borders, they do not have protocols, they do not have bureaucracy. We have these problems. So we should work together in order to avoid, as much as we can, these boundaries which allow us to be more effective than criminals are. So, as Salzburg Forum and friends have served as an important tool in coordinating our agendas in this perspective, I really hope we should push ahead the initiative we have had since the beginning to address security problems at the highest political level, even from the Western Balkan perspective. That means it may be possible for the interior ministers of the Western Balkan participate in the periodic meetings of the Justice and Home Affairs ministers in the EU countries. Because when fighting violent extremism, when guaranteeing security for our citizens, it's not important whether you are a EU country or you are not. So maybe this is the time to push ahead such initiatives which makes it possible for us to prevent and to fight phenomena like these, which jeopardize the future of our citizens and the values our citizens believe. Thank you very much again for the initiative. And Albania and the Western Balkans country are quite ready and committed to fulfill their agenda of reforms and steps we are taking and we should undertake together with you in addressing these problems.